I can't be sitting here watching moves take off without me, regretting it, and lying to myself inwardly that I could have got into that when I had no idea why I would have been buying at that point. In hindsight, in the beginning, when you're brand new, it tricks you into thinking that you could have got that if you just would have pushed a button. And that is self-abuse. You're abusing yourself when you do that. You're lying to yourself when you do that. You don't have the experience. You don't have the skill set in the beginning. So why are you holding yourself up to the standards of you should have it by then? You don't. And when I talk to you this way, a first-time viewer or someone that's got their head up their own ass will see that I'm not trying to encourage you. I'm trying to talk down to you, and that's not the truth. I'm trying to tell you to think properly. I'm trying to realign your perspective, because in the beginning, you're like a boat without a rudder, and wherever the wind carries you, that's where you'll be. And chances are it's probably not a port of destination you want to dock at. So over this weekend, I want you to think about what are the adversities that you feel right now for yourself? And I'm not saying post them in a tweet and then regret it later on because some asshole's going to come out there and make fun of you. These are for your personal reflection. Your journal entry this weekend before the market opens on Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Before that occurs, I want you to have something in your journal that's honest. Be honest with yourself. List the things. It may not be a long list. For others, it may be a long list of things that you think are paramount issues right now, that you see as adversities. These are the barriers. These are the blockers. These are the linebackers that are saying, you shall not pass. You're not going to score today. Not today. Whatever they are right now, list them. Once you list them, number them in the order of greatest importance, where you feel that they're debilitating to you, that they are the very rocks in your shoe, that you just can't go forward without having these painful things keep popping up. For me, mine was the fear of getting into a trade. The way I overcame that was I did most of my work on developing skill sets to help me identify times when I get in a trade and trusting it. How did I do that? Back testing, looking at old moves, what things kept reoccurring all the time when they would do these specific things. And I was not looking at no fucking support and resistance. I was looking for patterns in price action. What were these things doing constantly? What was the thing that kept reoccurring over and over and over again? Your adversities are your first objectives, not making money. That's where all of you mess up. That's what I had to discover, because I was trying to take every book that I could buy, every VCR tape, everything that I was trying to, instill in me in terms of knowledge was failing me, because I was trying to take the buffet approach. I like what he said there. Let me use that. Oh, that makes sense to me right there. Let me take that. Not listening to money management, not listening to how to prevent drawdown. They all say it's going to happen. Just accept it. But nobody came up with a plan on how to alleviate the impact of it and correctly mitigate it. Grow it back. So my other barrier was, in my infancy, I didn't know what I was doing. I overcame the fear of getting into a trade by having 4 or 5 things that in the beginning, the first couple of years, I had 4 or 5 ways of getting into a trade. So there's ways to take the things I've taught you, and there's criteria in the marketplace where it fits. Oh yeah, boom, there it is. What most of you are not understanding is I have 81 ways to get into a trade, but those 81 ways can be used dozens of ways in and of themselves, which is why you see critics and assholes out there that are jealous. They'll say, this guy's got an excuse for everything he's getting into. You're fucking right, I do. Because this is PhD level shit. It's technical science. We're not talking about retail technical analysis. I needed to know every fucking thing. I needed to know that because I obsessively worried about it. I don't obsess about nothing about worrisome things in the marketplace. I know when I shouldn't touch it, and I know when I should be all over that shit. Touchy-feely, like white on rice. Up close and personal, intimate, lover-like. Okay? That type of thing comes by obsession. that later became passion. I was not passionate in the beginning. I was obsessive. I needed to do these things to make myself comfortable by doing something I was terrified of in the beginning. I was scared to death of losing any money because I couldn't afford to lose any bit of it. And when my first trade was instituted in an orange juice option and I lost 50% of it, $750 overnight waking up and it's less than you had in your account. That's traumatizing for me. Like, I was a young guy and didn't come from anything. And I really was baptized in the most appropriate manner possible. I was not rewarded. I was not rewarded for dumb shit. Stupidity should be painful. And it was. And I learned from that. I waited the rest of that year. I didn't do anything. I saved up money. I said, okay, I need to know what the hell I did wrong because somebody just took $750 out of me. Somebody took $750. I need to learn what they did so I can do the same thing. I need a victim. And before I can become a victim, or before I can find a victim, I have to stop being a victim and become an apex predator. So my mindset was looking at all the adversities that I was feeling at the time. I might never get this. This is going to be harder than I thought. It's going to take longer than I. See, you think I didn't have all those same thoughts you're feeling right now that you've been wrestling with for months, maybe longer. Maybe before you even found me, you were wrestling with this stuff. You've tried trading, failed, put it down for a little while, and you just keep coming back to it like your tongue goes to a piece of meat between your teeth. You are a trader, but you're just letting the gambler run the show. The way you put the gambler in the back seat is you focus on the things that you are fearful of.